Yo, what is up guys, I'm here hitting you up with a new CZN video. Today we talk about Mika because she's arguably the most used support unit in the entire game. And hey, if you're new, subscribe. Now when it comes to Mika, she plays a little bit different than most of the units in the game. Now for that we need to look at her cards real quick, what she offers. Arguably her most important card in her entire setup is the Source of Water, because it's a very unique card which basically gives you AP and healing in one. There is legitimately nothing you can do wrong necessarily with that card except going for the one cost card. Outside of that, you can do whatever you want. You can either go with the left card that gives you one extra wave, which potentially gives you an extra AP. You can also go for the retain card, because that allows you, when you have that card in your hand, to not necessarily activate it immediately and save it for a big turn. Or you go maybe even for the rightmost card, which has exhaust but gives you +3 AP instead, which could also be very big for a huge turn swing. But overall, you cannot go wrong with either of these cards, because Source of Water is arguably the best card in the entire game. Yes, the best character card in the entire game, because of just how versatile and strong that card is. And then if you can get a Divine Epiphany on it with like an +1 AP on top of it, if you can even duplicate it, the better it becomes. That is the most important card in her entire deck. Now when it comes to her starting cards, you want to get rid of most of her. If you want to, you can keep one water barrier for healing purposes, but outside of that, you really don't need it. Then we have the Blessing of Waves. This is also something you can decide for yourself, what you want to aim for, what you want to do. I think one of the better options is the leftmost one, which gives you shield equal to the healing amount exceeding the max. So sometimes you're max HP, so you can throw out this card and then you get a little bit of healing on top as well. Outside of that, maybe even the wave one, just for a little bit more AP regen. The rightmost card is not really that good, even though it costs 0 mana. It is a finale card and really doesn't do much. This is something you don't really want to use, except you're basically done with your turn and it scares off your AP. And since you have 0 AP when you use it, because you don't want to start your turn with it, it's not really that good. Then the next card is we have the Tactical Analysis. This is also a card you can do more or less whatever you want, but the one I recommend is going either for the 2-wave plus 50% healing, because it basically boosts your healing capabilities, the upgrade card, or alternatively, which would also be good and I think even slightly better, is this one here right in the middle. You get 2 waves. And the way Mika works is, once you get 3 waves or have 3 tides, basically, you get an extra AP. So 3 waves equals 1 AP. So getting 2 waves is really strong. So I would suggest going for the middle one, because it just increases your healing capabilities and gives you a potential extra AP, and it just costs 0 mana. Then arguably the worst card in the entire game, or definitely for her kit, is the Whirlpool. I don't even think we need to talk about this card. Overall, you want to go with the cheapest option, but generally speaking, what you want to do with Whirlpool is you just want to rip it. Just rip it, get rid of the card. It's just not good whatsoever. I mean, if you have it, I just try to get it as cheap as possible, and whatever the situation wants. Like, nothing really here does anything. She's not a damage dealer, she's more of a healer. Maybe this one, because it's a 1 mana cost card and you deal damage and gain 1 wave equal to the number of targets. This is probably the best option, because if you have to throw it out, you can at least get an AP back for what you used it for. But outside of that, really, it is a whatever card. I would just get rid of it. And then you have the Deluge one. Deluge is really good. Because you start off, it has an Outbreak of War effect. You start off, you get 1 wave, and every single turn you get an additional wave, which is good, because once, as I explained, you have 3 waves, it gives you 1 AP point. One of her better cards. But overall, when it comes to her cards in general, you want to get rid of the majority of her cards, okay? She's a neutral character that does not play really much with her own cards, except for Source of Water, which is her strongest card. Then you have the Delusion turn 1 and a little bit of healing. So those 4 cards, really, that's about it. You don't really need more than that. Arguably, you could even rip off Tactical if you want to. And she plays more into neutral cards. We will discuss that in a minute. Now, when it comes to her best partner, ideally her best partner is Arwen. Arwen increases just the HP, reduces the damage reduction. You cannot go wrong. Arwen just best card. Don't really need to think about anything else. Just use that one and you are good to go. Now, when it comes to her potential, I think there's nothing really much to say about it. She is overall very cheap. You can just increase her health maybe a little bit. But outside of that, you really don't need to do anything with her. The only other thing would be this one, because if Mika's ego recovery is greater than 40 plus 10% source of water recovery, but that is just niche. Overall, she's not a potential heavy character, so that's also a good thing, because then you can use your resources on different type of characters. That is good. Her best build is a 2-2-2 build, 12% max HP, 12% defense, and the Seth Scarab 12% increased damage, shield, and healing of basic cards, because you do use her basic cards. And for the right side, what you want to do is you want to have on slot 4, you want to have HP. On slot 5, you want to have HP. And on slot 6, you want to have ego recovery. Those are the ones you want to have on her. You want to max them out. You want to really play into her AP regen role and have like a bigger health pool. I know that healing scales of the defensive stats from her, or generally the healing scales of the defensive stats of the characters. But you know what? Defensive scaling with the HP boost or with the healing is not even that big. It is very negligible overall. Going for a defense percentage piece to increase the healing, it's very negligible. It's like 2-3 points. It really doesn't do much. But so this is why it's actually a bigger difference to go with an extra HP piece on her, because that just overall increases your HP pool. That is way more valuable than just having a slightly stronger heal, which really doesn't do much for you. And then on slot 6, you do want to have the ego recovery, because also that plays a role into her potential if you want to unlock that later down the line. But outside of that, you just improve your ego recovery, get your ego points faster to cast your ego skills, okay? So when it comes to her egos, for example, her E1 has the initiation, which gets added to her deluge card. It's interesting because there is the triangle equipment, which triggers initiation cards right at the get-go. So you start off with deluge in your hand, you have the cube, it automatically activates your upgrade card, and then you throw it out and you get a second upgrade card. So you're basically starting off with 2 waves every single turn. Then very strong, which makes her also a very strong healer in this game, is her E2, because when Mika takes stress, heal for 200%. This effect triggers only once per turn. And as you know, once you are in the battles, you are in zero system, you take damage, she stresses, you just get a 200% heal. Very strong. This is why she also has so much sustain in her kit, because of her E2. Then the others I don't think really matter too much. And once you have an E6, you have 2 waves, and that's why when you use the deluge card at the beginning, you automatically get an extra AP. So just activating the deluge card doesn't cost you any. It's basically a 0 cost card at this point in time, and that's why she is that strong. Now, when we look at her save data, the way we want to build her, that's why I'm saying here, for example, you want to have the multifaceted parallel universe. At the start of turn, activate 1 random initiative card in hand. Well, Deluge is always in your hand and is the only initiative card you have in your deck. So that's why this is going to get triggered right off the get-go, and then you can trigger it 1 more time. So this is actually very good in combination. And as I just said, she's more of a neutral card player. Now, obviously my deck is not perfect because the game just decides to randomly throw stuff back. But this is what you aim for. You just want to have her most important cards. Let's say Source of Water, Deluge, Blessing of Waves, and Tactical Analysis. And then you just want to throw in Gear, Back, and Rally. That's it. You don't need more. You have the AP regen, you have a little bit of healing, and you have all the card draw and AP regen with the neutral cards. You don't need more, and that is perfect for Mika. Now, when it comes to her ideal teams, there is no ideal team for Mika. Just put her in any team and she makes any team better. That's it. You have any 2 combinations, Mika just makes them better. That is legitimately it. You can put her anywhere. It does work, except you use 2 more supports, but that just makes no sense. Pair her with any DPS and she's good to go. I think the only weak part about Mika is that we only have 1 Mika right now. That is about it. I also don't think I need to make a battle showcase with her, because I think everybody knows how she's already functioning, right? So I think it's an overkill to talk about this part. But yeah, she is by far the strongest support character in the game right now, just because of her capability. She has the heal, she has the AP regen, and you can put her in any team and she just does fine. She has a very good synergy with Cass. She has very good synergy with Veronica as a second support or sub DPS type of units. Also very good synergy with Kali. She's so good in any team and she just improves overall any team you play in this game. Now this sums up the entire Mika guide. And as always guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.